Grace and peace to you. This is yours truly coming at you once again. Have you noticed how, we are as a people more reactive than proactive, right? We wait for a tragedy to happen to respond to it versus preventing the tragedy from happening. We'll wait for a person to get discouraged and down and sad and then we'll try to lift them up rather than preventing that person from being discouraged and sad by lifting and holding him up when he's doing well. And I think like in today's society, we got to move more towards thinking positive versus negative. And, there's several things that have caused us to do that, right? Mass media controls the narrative. And most of the time, mass media responds to negativity, right? Now, of course, it could be argued that maybe the media is only giving the people what they want, right? Or maybe the media is suggesting, to the people what they should be looking at, what they should want. And you play certain things so long, you talk about things so long, and advertise things so long. In mass media, it gets in the psyche of people, and eventually they begin to buy into those thoughts, right? Because there are four components that help us to either establish our belief system or change our belief system. And that's credible authority, your social environment, your personal experiences, and repetitious information, hearing things constantly over and over and over and over again, right? Like we know that Adidas, I know that's not the proper way of announcing it, was made in Germany, right? And the company comes out of Germany. And we know that in Germany, when you had Hitler, the way he got a lot of people to buy into his concepts and ideals was through auto-suggestion and through, mass media, everything on the billboard, in the classes, take away their learning and knowledge to think independent, but to think only the way you want them to think. And that's the way people begin to act, right? And begin to respond to because their belief systems have been changed. And so they believe that they can conquer the world. And they actually set out to try to do that, right? So it's the same thing with mass media in our belief system, in our psyche. We are designed to respond to negativity. We have been designed to wait for a tragedy to happen, or wait for something bad to happen, or something negative to happen, and respond to that. But I believe that we should become more proactive, right? We get more out of life. We get more happiness out of life. You'll see more prosperity in life when you become positive, when you think positive about yourself, and when you think positive about the direction that you're going in, and think positive from the perspective of looking at other people and lifting them up, encouraging them rather than envying them, rejoice with them, right? Rather than hating on people, love people. Turn the negative into a positive, and your life and our lives would be much better. Our world would be much more better if we got into the positive things versus the negative things. And so let us not be reactive, but let us be proactive. Let us find ways to do positive things and not wait for something bad or tragedy to happen to do something. So say a kind word to somebody when they already happy or look like they're already up in spirits and so forth. Let's keep them up in their spirits, right? Even in our communities, when we talk about violence and crime and things like that, let's lift people up, right? If we can lift each other up out of poverty, out of trauma, out of the mindset that think the only way I can survive and live is through committing crimes and doing evil, shift that from doing good, right, and thinking positive and so on. We have a positive attitude. Have you noticed how those that tend to think a certain way gravitate to each other and move into each other? How in the ghetto, everybody think the same way in the ghetto. And that's why they're in the ghetto and in poverty and in sadness, in misery, in violence and in crime. But in a sense, the media wants us, and the world as a whole, the system wants us to stay stuck in there, where you always have a few that's rich up here and a lot that's poor down here. And the reason why that happened is because of what I mentioned before, the auto-suggestion, the brainwashing, and our belief system. And so you have to change your belief system, get out of the negativity, stop responding to negative. Every time you see something negative, move it out of the way and replace those negative thoughts or those negative things with positive things. And you'll start seeing results, you'll start seeing success, you'll start seeing prosperity, you'll start seeing happiness in your life, and you'll start seeing things work more in your favor. And so it's up to you to dictate and determine where you will go in your future. So let us not be reactive, but proactive. Let us move from the negative thinking to the positive thinking. Let us move from waiting for a tragedy to happen to moving to a place of uplift and prevent these things from happening and uplift people when they're already up. Let's keep people up. Let's push them up higher. As you push folks up higher, you climb higher. As you make people happy, it makes you happy. As you serve and do good, it'll do justice to others. All right? All right, God bless you. Just wanted to share that with you. Like, subscribe, and share this video. God bless you.